I don't know whether you have heard this before when someone says, I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. And I prayed and I prayed, said nothing has happened. I have prayed and there's nothing I have not done. I hear that slogan often, and this morning, during the week, the slogan began to dangle between my two ears, and I have to provide answers for those questions. Ladies and gentlemen, I have prayed, I have prayed, I have prayed. There's nothing I have not done, and God refused to hear me. This morning I'm talking about the protocol, the life protocol. I had to talk about that because every game you want to play, there are rules for the game. If you want to play the game of golf, there are rules. You can't take the rules of Nchoko. That's what we call it in the East. I don't know what they call it here. You know the game you have 4-4 and then Odorise. May God help you. Ayo. I don't know the English name. But technically, you can't take that name, that game, the rules of that game, and go and put it in the game of golf or basketball or football and get angry that you didn't score. And even get angry that they disqualified you out of the game. For everything in life, there is protocol. That's why 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, from verse 17. I want us to read it together. They're going to show it to us now. It says, 1 to go. Pray continually, NIV. Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God for you. So, there is the rule for prayer, but even in prayer, there is another rule. Give thanks in all circumstances. It's easier to give thanks when things are working the way you proposed, the way you expected. It's easier to clap and dance. But the Bible says the protocol for life is to pray continually. The protocol for life is to give thanks in all circumstances. Will you give thanks when it's not, you don't feel like giving thanks? That's what the psalmist said, Psalm 103. He said, bless the Lord, O my soul. All that is within me, bless his holy name. That takes me to Philippians chapter 4, verse 6 to 7. Shall we read together? It says, Amplified Version, it says, do not fret or have any anxiety about anything, but in every circumstance and in everything, by prayer and petition, definite request with thanksgiving, continue to make your wants known to God. So there is a way to play the game. If you're going to play the game of prayer, every prayer and every petition must be accompanied with a password, as said in Psalm 100. He said, enter with the password. Thank you. No, now, thank you. Thanksgiving is not just an event, like my pastor said this morning. Thanksgiving is not just as what you do at the end of the year to get people to put a palm front around the church and then come with yam and the plantain. Is much more than that. Thanksgiving is an attitude. Attitude is defined as the state of the mind that affects behavior. So every prayer I say, even before the answers come, there must be the password. So when you say, I prayed and I prayed, I have done everything I am meant to do, and I still haven't gotten the answer, I want you to check whether you are praying amiss. Like James said in James chapter 4 verse 3. He said you pray and ask and you don't get the answers because you are praying with wrong motives and you're praying with wrong answers. With this, I want to talk about my main topic for today. I just use this to lay a background. I want to talk about Thanksgiving from one of your uncles. His name is Job. Joan. Okay, which one ended in the heart? Jonah. Is there any Jonah in this church? Is anybody's name Jonah? Okay, so we're going to read Jonah chapter 2. And then we're going to read from verse 1 to 10, and then we'll pick it up from there, right? I'm sure the pulpit is a little bit too behind. Can we just bring it forward? Jonah chapter 2. We're going to start from, then Jonah, do you have it put together? Maybe in three verses so that I can take my time. Give me verse. Then Jonah prayed, tall. Just take it again. Then Jonah prayed to his God from the belly of the fish. I want you to see where this prayer came from. It came from the belly of the fish. He prayed. In trouble, deep trouble, I prayed to God. He answered me. From the belly of the grave, I cried, help! You heard my cry. You threw me into ocean's depths, into a weary grave, with ocean waters, ocean breakers flashing over me. I want to take the first 2 verses. Jonah said he prayed. In fact, I want to take the first 2 verses. Jonah himself said that he prayed. And he told us where his prayer, where he was, the location, where he was praying, in the belly of the fish. While I was reading Jonah's story, reading this, some things came to my mind. Verse 1 and verse 2, he said, I prayed to the Lord from inside the belly of the fish. In great trouble, I cried to God and he answered me. What do you do in mystery? When you find yourself, point number 1, when you find yourself in the midst of a mystery, what do? The choir have a song, I will trust you here in the mystery. What do you do when you don't understand your location, when you don't understand your circumstance, when you don't understand, when the promise doesn't look real? What do you do when your life looks as if God is a liar? What do you do when people around you begin to question the very God you serve? What do you do when you find yourself in a place that doesn't look like your prophecy? The answer is you will do what you have always done. You know, Pastor Ben will preach and tell you the way you practice is the way you play. And if while you are practicing for a game, when the practice was going on, when you want to, if it's a game of football, when you want to play the corner kick, you always carry it with your hand. And the referee warned you several times not to do so. Even when you are playing before the entire world, that's the same way you're going to play. What you do in mystery, it will always be what you have always done. Like I always say, if someone has bow leg and you shout attention, the person jumps so high, and as he's jumping, he's rejoicing. The person jumps down, that attention will be at ease. Because the root of the issue has not been addressed. It is not the attention of instruction. It is the adjustment of the bones. Some of us, your behavior, your beliefs are like bow legs. Those beliefs need to be adjusted for us to have a different outcome in your behavior. Jonah found himself in the belly of the fish and he did what he has always done. That is, he prayed. We're going to get to the content of the prayer very shortly. When you find out that you are in trouble, whom do you turn to? You turn to the people you always turn to. Some of us will turn to the people the Bible says you shouldn't turn to in Psalm 1. He said you shouldn't stand with some people, you shouldn't sit with some people, you shouldn't walk with some people. If when you are stressed, you take a Indian hymn, each time you're stressed, that's where you will go, because that's your default position. If you have stress at home and you and your wife are having challenges, and when that happens, you rush for the door and take your car and go to drink with the boys, that's what you will do. So what do you do when you are in the mystery? Whom do you turn to when you are in the mystery? You don't learn a new habit now. If you're going to learn it, that is going to take you some time. What do you do when you feel that your prayers have not been answered? Do you go to a native doctor? Do you look for Mama Ebere? Do you look for where they will give you a quick fix? Or will you be ready to go through the trial? What do you do when you find out that you are in a trial? Because sometimes the Christian race, you come to church, your hope is so raised. When you get into actual time, God is taking you through a trial season. Because whenever he breaks your comfort, he's about to show you his mercy. What do you do when you discover that you are asking for something and God knows that from his infinite wisdom, this thing you're asking for, you don't have the maturity to handle it? At that particular point in time, when he says wait, he didn't say no. He said yes, but for your own good, the right answer is wait. We have come to a place where we have microwave Christians who are not ready to hear the word. It has to be my way or the highway. What do you do in the midst of mystery? You know the person that sang that song, awake my soul to sing with your breath. She's singing her experience. If you check the documentary, she was singing based on her records with God. That song came. Each time I sing that song, I will trust you here. I will trust you here now in the mystery. Listen, it's not easy to trust God in the mystery if you have not been trusting him before. If when you need finance, the first thing that comes to your mind is, whom should I dupe? Whom should I tell a lie? If that's what it is, that's what it will always be. You know, I need to correct an impression. When Pastor Brian says, I don't work for money, and he tells people not to work for money, what he's saying that the motive for which you do that thing should not be money. Because money is a taskmaster. Let's go to point 2. So the question for Thanksgiving is, what do you do when you don't understand, when you don't know what to do, when you don't understand what to do? What do you do when everything seems negative from where you are? Job said he prayed and he cried out to God. That's 1 and 2. Now let's go to 2 and 3. From the 3, let's go to 3. But let me just finish this one, even if it was the one I take. I want to ask you a question, Firm Foundation. What is the number one reason for which you make decision? I put it in one sentence. I called it, I want to quote it, the organizing principle of your life. What is the organizing principle of your life? What determines your course of action? And then the organizing principle of your life is actually affects your worldview. And your worldview simply is the perspective through which you see and interpret life. The perspective through which you interpret your reality, that's your worldview. Your number one organizing principle of your life, that thing that you organize your life around, determines everything around you. For instance, if the organizing principle, the number one organizing principle of your life is comfort, personal comfort, you will do everything to have personal comfort. You will save money. You will work so hard. You will make decisions for personal comfort. If the number one organizing principle of your life is freedom from pain, you will do everything, including violate your values, to be able to get that, to be free from personal pain. Freedom from personal pain. If the organizing principle of your life is family or business or career or ministry or church, what you will do is everything. You will do everything to stay faithful to that organizing principle of your life. Job is in from verse 3 to 6. This verse should be in verse 6. Job is complaining against what God did to him. He hasn't said what he did to God. God did this to me. Let's read it. Read it from verse. He did this to me. Go to verse 3. Who is organizing the slide, please? You threw me into the ocean depth. Not that his decision threw him. Into a watery grave. He's describing with ocean waves, ocean breakers crashing over me. Not his decision. God did. The next verse. I said, I have been thrown out of your sight. I never again lay eyes on your holy temple. He's complaining. Is this what Job is supposed to be saying? Job should be saying here, Lord, have mercy. He's saying the things God has not done. Today is Thanksgiving. Some of us walk cloth to. It's not that you came to thank anything. You just came to fulfill all righteousness. For you and God have personal quarrel, personal issues you are sorting out. Ocean, Job is describing. Ocean gripped me by the throat. Ancient abyss gripped me and held me tight. God, now you they do me this kind of thing. My head was all tangled in seaweed. The next verse. He's describing what he's going through. Now imagine if we say in Jesus' name to these prayers. And some of us, that's the way you pray. Oh, Father, the witches in my family are disturbing me. In Jesus' name, Father, I just... Some of us have prayers of fear. Some of us, the prayer you pray in the house of God is the prayer your mom, who did not go to church, used to pray before Oloku. It has become a prayer in church. You see, Osaloba, you stone their heads. Some of them were prayers you use, asibos, ebebelu, ugobelu, in case ibeyebena, ugubai. That's the prayer we are praying in church. Come on, friends. And the protocol for prayer is, this is the confidence we have. If we ask anything according to his will, can we change the time? Can we all know that you came here not to live out your life? You came here to live out his will on earth. The man that trained me said to his wife, he and his wife were having challenge. He said to his wife, look, I'm not here to do your will. You are not here to do my will. We are here to do the will of God, who brought us together to express himself on earth. Ladies and gentlemen, let us boil it to what it is. God is not here to do your will. You are here on earth. That's why they put you here. And that's why he made you to know him. The number one organizing prayer when you begin to pray is to pray according to his way. There is a protocol for that dynamics. This is the confidence we have. Now you prayed. You didn't pray according to the will of God. You turn around. You are complaining that God did not answer the prayer. God, no be your post boy. God is not the person you stand in front. Oh yeah, I want to give you what I want you to do. If he doesn't do it, you jump. He say, I know they go church again. You jump into the world. Say, now me you do. Many of us think that if you stop going to church, it will pain Pastor Ben and pain Pastor Ben and pain Pastor Ben and pain Pastor Ben. He will think you have brought shame to him. Pastor Ben didn't die for you. It's like some of us who have testimony. You come and share it in our ear as if we are Femme Foundation. I'm not Femme Foundation. I am a member. Pastor Ben is not Femme Foundation. He's a member. We just happen to lead the pack. Imagine if you're getting married, you come and tell me, say, I have told Mama, I'm a member. Femme Foundation is a system. There's a difference between presidency and president. They are not the same thing. So there is a system and a protocol that organizes how your prayer should be answered. And then the last part of this is how Job changed his prayer from verse 7. From verse 7 to, I want you to see what he did. So I want to show you that all the time Job has been praying. He wasn't praying with his heart, Jonah. He wasn't praying with his heart. From verse 7. When my life was slipping away, I remembered God. So all the time he was praying for his own personal comfort, to be freedom from pain. The moment he saw that the trouble was overwhelming, that's when he remembered God. Another translation will say, my thoughts went to you when I found too much trouble. My dear, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable unto you. And my prayer got through to you. Why didn't his prayer get through all the time? He was praying according to his protocol. Now he changed the gear. The moment he changed the gear, look at how the prayer ended. Made it all the way to your holy temple. The next verse. Those who worship hollow gods, God frauds, walk away from their only true love. Verse 9. But I'm worshiping you, God. He changed. He changed his attitude. He brought in the password. Calling out in thanksgiving. and I will do what I promised I will do, salvation belongs to God. Don't give me verse 10 yet. It's time to change your attitude towards God. It's time to change. I'm not asking you to change how you live. It's time to change your attitude towards your wife. It's time to change your attitude towards your husband. It's time to change your attitude towards Nigeria. It's time to change your attitude towards the church. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to change your attitude towards giving to God. The moment Job changed his attitude, everything changed. And I will show you with the last verse. I don't know where I was speaking. I said to them, for me, I will pay tithe. Whether you pay or not, it is your own kettle of fish. I will pay because I have seen the life of God. I've been paying these things since. I will pay. If I'm going to hell, it is my personal choice. Allow me to go. I have come to thank God. I'm not here like Cain. I'm here like Abel. What God has done for me as a person, what I have come here to do is just a token of my expression. I love you. This is the proof. That's what it is. I can't doubt that my husband loves me. Not only does he show it with his behavior, not only does he shows it with his beliefs. There is nothing he can afford that he won't give to me. Sometimes I won't even ask. Most times I don't. I traveled and they said, let's go and shop. I was going like this. He said, Mama, won't you shop? Because the person that shops for me is not here. I don't know whether the cloth is good or not. If you see me wear anything, it's Pastor Ben that bought it. Anything. So I don't know how to do it anymore. And he's not doing it because he's trying to pacify his hobby. He's trying to pacify his mind. Maybe because he's playing corner with church girls somewhere. So he's just using this to appease me. That's not why he's doing it. Sometimes you can buy a gift for someone. The reason why you're buying that gift is you are trying to, I don't do this person something bad. I don't do it. Oh yeah, take this motto. Oh yeah, take this. That all those things you are giving to them, that is not the issue. You are trying to buy your conscience out of guilty conscience. I want to close. Nobody will treat you the way you are. People treat you the way you see yourself. If you are coming into this room and you already tell yourself, nobody will want to interact with me, that self-statement, I have 8 minutes, that self-statement that you gave to yourself, as you come in, nobody will interact with you because that's the way you see yourself. What did Job do differently? That's what I want to show you. Give me the last verse. What did God? Then God spoke to the fish and he vomited Jonah on the seashore. The first thing, Jonah had wrong principle that organized his life. The second point, it was expressed in his behavior. It was expressed in the way he related with God and related with others. The third point, the moment he changed, it also reflected in his behavior. And heaven looked at it and said, now you have sense. He ordered the fish that swallowed him to vomit him. Once you have thanksgiving resolves the conflict of life. As you live here today, go about with the password, thank you. Whether I see to it or I do not see to it, thank you. My Christianity is not because God will give me a husband or give me a child. My Christianity is that I am here to bring his kingdom to earth. Thank you. If I have clothes to wear or not, thank you. If I have people who are my friends or I don't, thank you. If the rain falls, thank you. If it doesn't fall, thank you. If I expected you to love me and you didn't love me, thank you. If you loved me, thank you. If you don't love me, thank you. If I fall, thank you. If I don't fall, thank you. If I wake up in the morning and I sell, thank you. If I don't sell, thank you. If I was expecting that now I would have taken in, and I thank you. And I took in, thank you. And I didn't take in, thank you. If the money came, thank you. If it didn't come, thank you. Because the alarm clock that woke you up this morning, take it to any mortuary, nobody will wake up. Rise on your feet.
To order for copies of this message or other series by Benson Akhigbe II, please visit the Firm Exchange at number 5 Origbeni Street off Idenya Road off Ihama Road, GRA, Benin City. You could also contact us via our telephone numbers 080-510-28787, 070-696-96499. You could send us an email on info@femfoundationg.org, or you could visit our website on www.femfoundationg.org. Thanks and God bless.